Welcome back to the Sip and Swish podcast. You've got Nick Reid, your boy. He's back.
Yes.
Lucas McLean.
Wow.
Myself, Jason Stoltz. It's a free agency spectacular edition of the Sip and Swish. Tons has been going down. I mean, I'm sure you guys aren't aware. I mean, so let's break some news here, guys. Who wants to say it? Who wants to say where LeBron chose?
LeBron James.
I think
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
It's
LA.
Lakers.
I jumped it. I'm sorry. I was like, you're just going to
Premature, Jason.
What? How long was I supposed to wait? How many LeBron Jameses until I think, is it not going to change?
That's how many championships he's going to get us, is every LeBron James is it.
wow.
I think you said 3.
Yeah.
So 3 championships?
Not 5, not
three
6,
out of 4
not
years?
7.
No, but 3.
So how do you feel, Laker fan?
Yeah, Nick, our resident Laker fan, as you all probably know at this point.
Born and raised in LA.
Born and raised, baby.
Never loved Kobe. Loved the Lakers before Kobe got there.
Is that
Kobe?
true? Was he alive before Kobe
I was like,
got there?
No, I was born when Kobe was, wasn't it? Was he 90?
No, it was
96.
96.
I was 2 years old. I didn't know anything.
That's
I love
crazy.
it.
I was playing video games of with Kobe, as Kobe, in his rookie year. And you were just 2.
We get it. You're 45.
Don't let my gray hair steer you wrong. I'm only 42.
Okay.
I'm not even 32.
I love it. LeBron's finally coming home. His real home. He's going to become a billionaire, like Bill said, for the last year. And so
That's always been a frustrating statement to me, though. I've always thought, I guess in the last few weeks it did narrow down to just LA or Cleveland in everyone's heart. And then Philly had a very slight chance. But
2%.
I really hated the notion that
That's
everyone
what
was like, LeBron was going to LA just to make a crap ton of money and just because lifestyle. Because it kind of just took away from the whole LeBron wants to win every year. And that's what it felt like. It felt like LeBron now going to LA is just him being like, why not just make a crap ton of money, retire in one of the most, sawed-off places to play in the world and just, enjoy it.
Become even more popular of an athlete.
Right, but it just doesn't feel like the competitive LeBron that I wanted. It just kind of feels like he's like, all right, I'm turning 34. Is he turning 34 or is he turning 33? I can't remember.
No, if he's not already 34, he's turning 34.
Okay,
Yeah.
so he's turning 34, and now he's just kind of like, all right, it's going to be the twilight. I'm just going to ride off in the distance with
He signs up.
LeVar.
I guess conversely, I'm excited that he did choose a situation that wasn't the easiest path to a ring. If he just chose the easiest path, if he
Went to Houston.
I think
that
that
would've made me
was the
so
easiest,
mad.
most tangible way he could have done it.
Either Houston or Philly.
I
I don't
just
think they would have made me mad. I would have liked that.
Philly wouldn't have made me mad.
Philly wouldn't have made me
not.
mad, but Houston.
I don't know if
would've
Houston
upset.
would. I mean,
Yeah,
I
it
hate
would've
James
upset.
Harden and Chris Paul, but at least the Warriors, that series would have been sick. That actual Western Conference Finals would have been amazing.
Who would have been favored? Real quick, and then let's focus back on what
It
actually
really depends on because the Rockets would have to give up a lot.
I don't know. I'd go Houston.
I'd go-
I would
I'd
bet
go
on
Houston.
Houston.
Houston almost won it last year
without CP3
Without CP3
for 2 games, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, the last 2, the most important 2. CP3, get healthy. God,
For once in your small
I'm just
man life.
happy we got someone because it was getting dark there because someone named Paul George decided hey, I'm gonna take the worst contract ever.
Okay, we'll get there when we get there. Damn it.
Just jump to Paul George yet. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about all the other consequences this leaves. The Cavs are screwed now because
Good.
LeBron left.
Dan Gilbert sucks.
I really think this is a big leap of faith for LeBron still. Even if you ignore all the money parts and all the outside of basketball stuff, he is going to a team that only won 35 games without any hope of getting anybody else. He has no locked in information that Kawhi's coming or,
No.
I don't think
Scott-
Kawhi's coming.
I
I think it's.
obviously not Paul George, but he just went in there blind, it felt like.
I think
And it's weird. I still think it's kind of weird because they didn't get Randall. They didn't keep Randall.
I don't think Randall would have fit as well next to LeBron. But then you look at the rest of these signings, I don't really know what they're doing. Because they're not really adding shooters the traditional. They seem to add a bunch of defensive players. So are they just going to be LeBron, you're the offense, and we're going to actually put defenders around you so we don't have to score 200 points a game?
So let's discuss out of the young talent that they have, drafted and are trying to cultivate. Who do you think fits well? Who doesn't fit well? Who's going to benefit from LeBron being there? Like, how do you guys see, your Ingram, your Kuzmas, your Lonzo Balls? Like, how do you see that young nucleus? Remind me if there's anyone else I'm kind of leaving out. But how do you guys see them being impacted by this drastic turn of events?
I think like Ingram will be the most positively influenced by LeBron. He might turn I think that Kuzma and Ingram might have a season where we watched the Celtics and saw like Jaylen Brown and Tatum were really good players, way above average for their age, and I could see like Kuzma and Ingram pulling that out. I don't know how Lonzo really plays into it, and I know a lot of people are thinking he's his second ball handler. It's something that LeBron never has or whatever, and he passes the ball all the time. But a lot of being off ball playing with LeBron is spotting up and shooting, and he hasn't proven that he can shoot.
He had stretches though. Like Lonzo did have stretches of shooting well.
The hope would definitely be that he can develop over the offseason and be like, okay, a lot of the time I'm going to be open for threes. I'm going to be open in these scenarios. I can't just drive and then dish again.
Even if you could bump it up to 35% from three?
If he bumped it up to 35%, I mean, that's shooting an Eric Gordon shot. So it's just, he needs to be able to get to that point. But I don't know if it's going to be next season or maybe even the season after he gets to that point, hopefully. But he needs to definitely develop a spot-up game.
Nick, what do you think about those three young talents, alleged talents?
Alleged, they're great.
No, I believe in two of them.
I think I'm going the opposite way. I think Lonzo's going to be the most impacted.
Really?
Yeah, because I think Ingram was already making huge strides last year.
Yes, he was.
That he just was. Hopefully, he goes into this offseason. He's working his ass off, and is okay, I have LeBron James with me now. LeBron being there it's not Curry-esque with the gravity, but when LeBron has the ball, everyone's looking at LeBron, and it allows everyone else to be better just because he's such a force. I think Ingram is in the same boat where his jumper needs to just get to that point. He's going to have to try and be like Durant and just always pulling up.
Yeah.
Because he was getting the driving down. He just hasn't ever been able to put it all together. He'll drive, and he has really good handles, and vision of the court is good for Ingram, but he hasn't been able to be in one game, okay, I'm doing this all at once. He'll drive.
To synthesize all of those.
Yeah, he'll drive, and then the only thing in his head is okay, I'm going to go to the rim, but then he gets to someone, and he's I don't know where anyone else is on the floor.
I agree that's the concern with Ingram, is that a lot of what he showed last year was that nice handle. A lot of what he showed was kind of being a main ball handler.
Yeah.
And is he going to be as effective with now LeBron James, who's going to, between him and Lonzo and Rondo, that's a lot of ball handlers on this team now.
And not a lot of great shooters.
I'm going to say Lonzo is probably, I don't know if he's going to be hurt or stunted or if he's just going to be more
defensive,
just more passing. Not playing as much. You know what I mean? I could see him not playing quite as much over the next year or two. But I think he takes kind of the biggest hit in terms of potential production.
Just wait till
I think Ingram, triple-double. That would be amazing. I think Ingram is more of a push. I don't think he's going to be hugely helped or hurt. I think Kuzma, because he has the best shot out of those three, I think Kuzma is going to have a huge fucking season.
He really might. My only thought about Ingram, because I still think he's the highest on the totem pole, but
he has the highest ceiling out of those three for sure.
I think out of those three guys, LeBron last season really struggled because the Cavs didn't set him up with a secondary shot creator and playmaker that could actually be elite. When he was in Miami, he always had D-Wade.
Sure.
And he had Chris Bosh who could create for sure. But
going into this, they didn't let him often.
Right, they didn't let him. He was more of a Kevin Love role, just spot up. But now,
and then he had Kyrie, obviously.
And then he had Kyrie. So for a LeBron team to always be elite, you need that second guy that can always create. Where LeBron, if he's taking an offensive possession off, he didn't really get to last season, but the seasons prior, you could always have that one other guy create. And I think Ingram is going to be that guy because I think Kuzma, I don't know, but in every single LeBron system, there's always that 4 that kind of gets relegated to like a stretch 4, and so I don't know how much of that of Kuzma getting in the paint is going to happen as much because somebody has to shoot, somebody has to stretch that floor,
right?
And right now with the current roster, nobody stretches. There's nobody that stretches. I mean, Josh Hart can shoot, Caldwell Pope can shoot, but he's super streaky.
There are a lot of streaky shooters on the team right now.
Hart could have a nice season too.
Hart could.
I should have included him.
I just don't know how high his ceiling is. I think he has like a good floor. I think his lowest thing for next season will be like, okay, it takes 4 attempts from 3 a game and hits like 38% of them, which would be fine. And if he just plays like 3-and-D 2 guard, but I feel like even that's asking a lot of a second year guy.
I mean, like the starting lineup right now it's going to be Lonzo,
Ingram.
Nick is fully reclined in his chair in case you can't hear him right now.
LeBron. I'm just thinking like LeBron, Kuzma, McGee. Like, is Kuzma going to start? Are we going to play LeBron at the 4?
I think you have to play Kuzma at the 4. I think LeBron starts at the 3 because your 5 is going to be Javale.
I feel like it'd be better.
Just weird. We're going to get to all the new signings.
I feel like it'd be like Lonzo, Caldwell, Ingram, LeBron, McGee, and then bring Kuzma in after
I guess
8 minutes.
I guess no matter what, you can just shrink it to like an 8-man rotation.
Yeah.
Of really weird players. That is just one weird team LeBron tried. To me, it would be the equivalent of like LeBron trying to join like the Hornets and being like, "Here, we're gonna fix all these problems." And now there's just so many problems with this team. Except, I just think, Ingram, Kuzma, and Lonzo. If LeBron can step them up next season,
it's gonna be fun.
I mean, I feel like
I'm excited to watch it.
I'm guaranteed the Lakers will get to at least the 8th seed. I feel on their they just threw LeBron in. They're on the Nuggets tier. If everything stayed the same.
Did you see what people were saying though for our playoff spot?
No.
They're saying that the Lakers are probably the 3 seed.
I think they would have been the 3rd seed if they could get Kawhi and not give up.
Or Dame Dollar. That's getting floated all of a sudden.
Yeah, I saw that. Lucas tweeted like, "Hey Dame, do you want to come to Phoenix?" And I was like, "You spelled Los Angeles wrong."
So one other thing that kind of just popped up today, I don't know if you guys saw, allegedly, and I believe it was a Yahoo Sports report, Luke Walton and LeBron James have not spoken, texted, anything. Kind of weird. I mean, I don't like putting too much stock into these type of stories.
LeBron's on vacay right now.
I don't know.
He's talking to players. He's talking to Magic. He's talking to a lot of people.
I think he also praised Luke.
Yeah,
I think someone followed up and said something like, he's been able to improve the team every year. I'm happy to start the season with him. But at the same time, there's some eerie feeling I'm getting that LeBron has talked to Magic about everything, and if the season or if he starts not liking something, LeBron's going to get to pick his next coach.
God damn it!
And it might be a man by Ty Lue.
If Ty Lue becomes the coach,
no way! Come on.
If Ty Lue's the coach of the Lakers within the next year to 2 years, I'm jumping ship.
Skip to my Lou is coming home.
I kind of feel like
because he ain't hanging out in Cleveland.
No, he might just quit,
dude. I can see it.
He'll just resign.
I sent you guys those odds for the first coach to get fired.
Oh, that was fun. That was interesting. Yeah,
plus 1,000 was Ty Lue. I really like those odds.
We should have done it right then. That was before LeBron signed his new deal.
Yeah. See, if it included quitting, then I'd really love those odds.
Yeah.
Dude, he's just, we have watched Ty Lue, not to digress too much, but we've just watched him physically decay and start dying in front of our eyes. It's sad.
The best part is, though, we're not going to hear a single thing about Ty Lue all next year.
Nope.
I don't think Cleveland sports will be talked about.
They're not even going to get close to the playoffs. Well, actually,
I hear the Browns have made big moves.
Yep, they have. They have a lot of cap space. They did a lot.
Hugh Jackson, he's won one game in 2 years?
1 game in 2 years. He's a pretty solid coach. Not gonna lie, sounds like a Ty Lue kind of guy.
I could do it.
Nick's Hugh Jackman, the guy from Australia, the actor.
I was like
Wolverine.
I was like, why is Hugh Jackman the coach? And then I thought you were talking about the quarterback, and I was like,
All right, let's pause the Lakers talk. We're gonna get back to it with all their seemingly completely random, no actual plan of attack signings. We'll get back to that. But probably, take that away, scratch that. Definitely the most shocking blockbuster signing, Paul George. 4 years, $137 million, staying in OKC, one of my two teams. Player option for the 4th year. This blew minds.
Windhurst almost had a heart attack on national television.
Right, and I feel like it had nothing to do with his weight. Like,
no, nothing.
I love you, Wendy. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
He may have had a couple burgers before, but then he was just like, he was getting frazzled at the fact that...
You noticed the ketchup in the corner of the mouth, too?
Oh, yeah, I did. I watched that like 20 times over. It just doesn't
Wendy, I'm so sorry.
make any sense. I get it because he had that injury and maybe he's just locking in, so he's getting max or almost max. But if he waited he did a 1-and-1, or even just signed just did a 1-and-1, got that 10-year, and then signed a 4-year contract for another. Like, this is like such a gimme to the Thunder, who don't deserve anything. They deserve to suffer.
I don't think they should deserve to suffer.
Why? What do you?
They started off with everything, but then they lost it all. And now
That's their own damn
Now
fault.
they're trying to make up for it, though.
But they also drafted. They drafted all of those players. So it's like, they've obviously made mistakes in terms of decision making.
Yeah,
but their decision making is also what gave them those players.
The mistake was that they wouldn't pay freaking James Harden $5 extra million, but they're willing.
But Durant left, so you don't feel bad for him because they trade away Harden, but then you feel bad for them because Durant left them, and then Durant
left them because
and then they did a really great
Harden.
move and traded for Paul George. That was a great trade. It's a great salary dump, and then they traded for Melo, which was a mistake.
Yep, which was a huge mistake.
But then they got Paul George back.
So it's like a seesaw. It's like literally just like, you win, you lose, you win, you lose.
At least they're trying. That's what I like. They're not like the Magic who don't try anything, and they're at least trying to.
The Magic do try though. They're just really bad. They trade
There's really bad.
They trade for Ibaka, and then they trade Ibaka for Terrence Ross because I'm pretty sure the Magic GM saw the one game where Terrence Ross dropped 51 and was like, oh my god, this player is amazing, let's get him. And then they got him and they're like, wait a second, Terrence Ross is not good.
I don't know why Terrence Ross sounds like the name of a late 80s, early 90s hip-hop artist.
He is a hip-hop artist too.
Is that also? Wow.
No.
Fun fact about the Magic. Before this new GM, who was the previous GM of the Bucks, he was only 30 years old. So it gives us hope that one day we can be a GM.
Yeah, I wouldn't sign Bismarck Biyombo to $18 million a year. I'm sorry, I'm not stupid.
Bismarcky, another early 90s rapper?
I really think this is a great move by the Thunder. I just do.
Friends.
They had to they had to do something because if they didn't sign back Paul George, then their fan base was screwed. And I feel like this is all the ownership being like, we made a mistake with Harden. But we're going to pay the price right now.
Yeah.
We're going to pay this extra bajillion dollars for
$300 million.
Yeah, we're going to pay $300 million.
There was nothing other than this. We talked about it maybe a week or two ago. There were no other options for the Thunder to stay middle of the pack in the West. They would have fallen.
Yeah,
but $300 million to be
no, they're probably gonna renounce.
First round.
If they stretch Melo, they save $91 million. The thing is, there was some loophole that if they stretch him, they actually have to pay a penalty fee because there's some clause in there. So they'd have to pay some sort of annoying penalty fee for the amount of the stretch.
Of course, Melo would make sure there was a penalty.
Right? Yeah. So I think they might just bite the bullet and pay that humongous salary because they just signed Jeremy Grant or whatever to come back.
And didn't they bring back Felton as well?
They just ran it back. But
they brought the same roster
back. But I think Grant's going to be better. I think they might convince Melo.
He better be.
I really
don't think they're convincing Melo to come off the bench.
They'd have to do something.
If they're going to keep Melo, they have to convince him to come off the bench. He cannot be a starter. Because the team, honestly, for them to take that step and for them to really be a cohesive unit, they can't have that distraction.
Yeah.
They can't have that distraction all season long where everyone on the outside looking in is just like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Melo is trash. He's not a starter. You know what I mean? It's a distraction. They can't have that.
And if they didn't re-sign Paul George, though, they would have wasted the entire career and the rest of the contract of Westbrook. Like, they had to go all in until Westbrook's contract's up.
Yeah.
But, like, looking at the standings in the West, like, they were the 4th seed, and I'm pretty sure just running it back, they can be the 3rd seed because I feel like Portland was a fluke. I mean, 3 through 8 were only separated by 2 wins. You know?
So they were like...
But I still think if you went down the list of teams that the Thunder are better than, I think it's all of them, except Houston and Golden State. I mean, they're better than Portland.
They're not better than Utah.
Well, okay, clearly in the playoffs they showed it, but I still think, like, on paper, like...
Paper doesn't matter because they lost in the first round for a $300 million team.
Well, now it's going to be a $300 million team. But I say if you do that series all over again, I think it's still a fun series, and you still have to run it back. They're better than San Antonio, Minnesota, Denver.
And also, just to toss this out there, just because Utah beat them in a series doesn't mean they're going to win more regular season games. They just match up with potentially. I'm just saying.
And then who knows? Like, the Utah isn't some, like, elite squad too. Like, they had an insane run at the end because they got Goober back, but I don't know. A lot of the role players are getting old. Like, Cephalosha is old. Like, we don't actually know if Dante Exum's going to get any better.
I've always believed
Rubio had a career high season, and then who knows? Donovan Mitchell could just have a sophomore slump.
I really hope not. I love watching Donovan Mitchell so much.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell's going to slump at all. I think he's just going to have a.
Well, they also like the Jay Crowder might turn into Cavs Jay Crowder. Like, a lot of ifs may happen, and then Derek Favors just re-signed, but Derek Favors was getting, like, bad by the end. You know, like, who knows about the surrounding, like, holding core?
You can do the same thing with the freaking Thunder.
Well, I think
you can say, like, everybody's going to get worse.
Well, I'm just saying that they don't have that, like, glue, though. Like, they could run it back, but they're almost like talking about the Pacers. You know, the Pacers are built like an above average squad all glued together, but you don't know how long their peaks are going to be. So, like, I feel like Utah all meshed at the same time perfectly for, like, above average standard
I hear what
players.
you're saying with that.
And, like, if next year, if the role players on the Pacers drop because they're playing up to their peak, you know, they're not going to look as good. Like, they could drop to the 6th seed or something because their role players' peak isn't as long as, like, a more established player.
My confidence in, like, projecting wins for a Utah or for an Indiana is definitely less than projecting wins for the Thunder, who I don't think are a great team. Like, I'm not saying they're a great team, but we kind of know what they're going to be.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way they're going to lose less than, like, 45 wins. Like, they have an MVP on their team. They have Paul George. They have Steven Adams. Like, they have this consistency that, like, not of a role player who can fluctuate so much. Like, they don't deviate as much, you know?
Nick just looks angry.
He does.
It's just the entire argument you used against Utah, you could use for all the role players on the Thunder.
But on the Thunder, you have
an established
MVP. You have Paul George.
Paul George, who's been streaky his entire career.
Paul George is streaky, but
an entire career.
But
and if Roberson doesn't play every
Westbrook
single game,
is what I'm like. Utah doesn't have a Westbrook. Like,
they have a system. They don't have. Hey, Westbrook, take the ball, shoot it 45 times, and then
45 times worked. That was a fun game to watch.
And then he shot 45 times the next game, and then they went home.
Yeah, but he shot it well, though.
And then he still went home because the rest of the team couldn't do anything.
It's true.
So the rest of the role players
disagree.
But well, I never saw that topic being the one that was going to get just like a little heated, just a little heated.
I didn't even say anything about the Lakers.
I know. It's the sunburn. Nick is so sunburned. It's got to be.
Like, it's just $300 million to most likely maybe get to the second round. It just seems like. I mean, they should get Paul George. I'm not saying they shouldn't get Paul George on the
They
best
just didn't have any
deal
other choice.
No, I'm not saying about Paul George. For Paul George, the signing was stupid because he didn't get as much as he could. He gave them like a freebie because he could have got more money by just being like, all right, I'll sign a 1 year. I believe in us. I'm going to sign.
Do you think like his injury past really made it feel like, okay, he talked and he was like, what if I get injured again and I did a 1-1? The next year, I'm not going to get paid.
Yeah, there's a risk in that.
So he locked himself for $137 million for 4 years, and he's happy with that. You know, it's not like he pulled a Boogie.
Yeah. Do you guys buy any of the speculation that Adam Silver basically was just like, yo, you're not going to the Lakers. Lakers, you're not getting Paul George. You've been tampering for years. Like, do you buy that at all? I don't, to be honest.
I don't think I buy. I think I really think this.
But you've seen it. You've heard it.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think this whole scenario is really great because it correlates the whole Kawhi thing. And I think if you even went back to it goes to the whole Kobe thing, free agency, where it's like if you want a player, you have to trade for them.
Get him when you can.
If the Lakers, like last year, Paul George wanted to be a Laker. This year he doesn't. And who made the risk?
We almost traded for Paul George, so they just didn't take the trade.
They didn't pull the trigger though. It was like the Pacers guy was like, you didn't offer enough. You didn't offer what we wanted from your team. You know.
Well, they wanted like.
Right, but they didn't. But in the end, they didn't get him for it. You know, so it's like it's the same thing with Kawhi. It's like if the Lakers want to risk waiting an entire year for free agency, like the Spurs could trade him to another team, and then the Kawhi is like, hey, I really like it in Philly. I don't want to leave.
My man.
Know? Then they're screwed again because they didn't pull the trigger. And then back when the whole Kobe thing happened, it was just like
Kevin Durant next year.
If like a team was really if a team really wanted Kobe, like how the Suns wanted to trade for Kobe, but they didn't want to trade Amare away, and they didn't want to trade Stoudemire, so it's just going to be Kobe and Nash. If they really wanted to do that, they should have, but they didn't. You know, they didn't offer the farm for Kobe.
That'd have been fun in their like primes to see Kobe and Nash playing.
It would have been great.
God,
it's just I think it's a nice little lesson for the Lakers this season to see if they're willing to pull the trigger for Kawhi.
I think they were really smart though, because the Spurs were sitting there like, oh, give us absolutely everything for Kawhi right now. Like, give us Lonzo, give us Ingram, give us Kuzma, give us 2 picks, and we'll give you Kawhi right now. And then they're like, because LeBron's going to opt in, he's going to get traded to the Rockets. And the Lakers are like, no, he's not. We're fine. We'll wait. The Spurs clock is also ticking, though. They have until the trade deadline. Because once the trade deadline hits, Kawhi can just walk out the door, and then they get nothing.
yeah.
So there is the one side of like,
If he
we'll
walks.
give up the farm. He might not walk. Maybe he's just like, I'll take $200 million and I'll be fine. And I'll just be like, all right,
I think that's the other risk is like Tony Parker is gone. They might not re-sign Ginobili. All those vets that Kawhi didn't like might be gone this offseason.
Yeah.
So then he could be like, all right, this is my team. No one gets to tell me my injury's fake. You know?
Speaking of injuries, Boogie Cousins?
The Boog.
All right, DeMarcus Boogie Cousins.
He doesn't get that. Not anymore.
The Booger. He's just a
A
massive
little
booger.
less shocking, but still very shocking
I'll
nonetheless.
shock the crap out of me.
1 year, $5.3 million.
I don't-
What?
I don't-
Golden State Warriors? We've all talked about this. My favorite aspect of finding out was what player was it? Now I'm blanking. The player that on live TV, it was what was his name? One of the rookies. It was like Jaren Jackson or Bagley the Third or one of these guys is literally told after a summer league game that this happened by Arnowitz.
Okay.
And he's like, nah, man, blah, blah, blah. You know, and like they do like this entire interview. And he's like, that's crazy, but like Wild West, right? And then the interview ends, but you can still hear him. And he goes, like, so for real, though? Like, it blew his mind so hard.
Just think, like, even if the starting lineup never happens or Boogie never plays this season, it's Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and DeMarcus Cousins as the starting 5.
5 All-Stars.
5
in their
All-Stars
prime. It's never happened before.
on one team.
I guess.
Would you really say Draymond in his prime, to be honest?
Well, he's definitely. I think
Like
he's
age-wise,
probably
sure,
going down the hill. If you
probably-
have to think about the peak. He's probably on the other side, but he's still very good. He's probably could get. He's an all-star.
I've just agreed with you.
He's a-
pick this one.
He's the third most important player on that team.
So I think we have to put the Boogie story in perspective, where Mark Stein put out his article saying, his flurry of tweets saying that Boogie never got a single offer
Which is
from
just
another team.
ridiculous.
And my first thought was, that's just a straight lie.
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
I will never believe that. And then,
And I've heard other people, like I've heard insiders say that wasn't accurate.
like, it's just not true. And then,
Maybe
it
not
was,
an offer that he considered real, but
right.
he
so
got
that's,
offers.
I think the phrase maybe significant offer should have been the right title, but then like a few days pass and then a few leaks happen. The Pelicans release a few things, and then to find out that Mark Stein has to go on Twitter and say, so I have to like fix this and say that the Pelicans did offer DeMarcus Cousins a 2-year, $40 million offer.
Which is going to be the only team to offer him over.
My
They
thought
had
was
20.
my thought was probably that, and then there was the other leak report that the Trailblazers tried to swap Nurkic for Boogie in a sign-in trade, but that got nixed because Nurkic and Boogie have the same agent, and neither of those players wanted to be in New Orleans anymore. So he wasn't going to let that happen. But my whole thought is like, there's so many other teams that could have offered this exact. Every single team in the league could have offered the MLE, the 5.3. So
My Sixers.
the Sixers could have offered a lot more. But
I mean, it wouldn't have made sense, really,
No.
but still.
No.
but he chose to win it, to take a $35 million pay cut to win a ring. You know,
Oh, yeah,
that's basically what he did.
Can I ask you guys a quick hypothetical? Just quick.
Okay.
All right. So, if you knew Boogie was going to come back 100% healthy, and you could, as the Sixers organization, choose between Boogie Cousins at, what is he, like 27? Roughly?
27, 28, something like that.
You could choose between him, a known quantity, and Joel Embiid.
Oh,
What do you do?
you pick Embiid. You
Embiid.
definitely pick Embiid. But
Even with Embiid's injury history, I'm not saying I disagree. I'm just saying, like, this was Boogie's, like, one crazy injury.
yeah,
He doesn't have, like, a long line of injuries. He's not injury prone. Embiid.
Now he's going to be.
the problem is I think like Embiid can become something better than Boogie. Like I just feel like there's so many times Boogie takes defense off and Embiid probably does. I haven't watched like 30 games of Embiid, but I think Embiid can develop into the
Boogie
number
took
one
like
center.
7 seasons off just by being in Sacramento. Just like,
But I
this
mean, like
sucks.
Boogie was like
No, I agree.
the
I was
best
just-
center
I was
in
hoping
basketball.
one of you was gonna take
You know, I think that Embiid can become the best center in basketball. Boogie was, but now with this Achilles, I truly think Boogie's career might be like he's going to play again, but he's never going to be Boogie.
No,
He's
you
just-
you can't.
Which is sad because he was honestly one of the most fun players to watch.
They
was.
were hitting that stride right there. Him and Anthony Davis. They were just putting up like 75 points together.
I got into so many fights on Twitter about this signing.
Okay,
Because
hit us with him. What are the
Warriors
details?
fans were just endlessly like, our team is the smartest. Our GM's the smartest. We got a guy for
No.
super cheap. We got the best center in the league for $5 million. Any other team could have done it, but we did it. We're the smartest ones. And I'm like, are you ignoring, like, are you acting as if the Warriors are on, like, the same level as any other team as, like, a destination? Like, if Boogie's looking at the Kings and be like, oh, man, it's a really big toss-up between 5.3 from the Kings and 5.3 from
Like,
the
do
Warriors.
I
It's
want
like,
to be
you'd
in
win,
San
like,
Fran, or do I want to be in like Milwaukee, or do I want to be in
But
Minnesota?
You're in San Fran winning 70-plus games a year, and you don't even have to
you
really
don't have
try.
to play until January.
Well, so that's the thing, and I feel like that's the least discussed part of this, is that the Warriors, sure, they're a destination, they're this, they're that, whatever, but they're pretty much the only franchise that was going to take him on and honestly know we're going to be completely fine waiting until January, February, March. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They're going to win their games, and whenever he gets back, if and when,
Yeah.
then it's just literally a super team beyond anything we've ever seen.
I can't think of many teams that were able to take that specific risk though. Like, how many teams in the league can say, we can hold off on you until May?
No, that's my point.
Yeah,
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
I think that's like, I don't even think Houston could. I really don't think the Celtics would do that. There are a lot of teams
No,
that
Houston's
don't have
cash press. They
Just
can't
think-
spend 5.3 on someone that may or may not even play next season.
Yeah, and they lost Ariza. Like, I don't know. There's not many teams with this luxury. The Warriors can do it.
Yeah, because they just signed like 6 centers because they have all their scoring off Steph, Clay, and Durant. Last year they didn't play Zaza for like the last 4 months.
Yeah.
They're just like,
He's also a dirtbag.
yeah. But now they
This
just
podcast hates Zaza.
now just take those next 4 months and then Boogie comes back and then it's like, all right, we'll just give minutes to DeMarcus Cousins.
It just makes me sad thinking about it. But then I don't know how that works with the rest of the team because Draymond at center is definitely their best lineup.
Oh yeah, the death lineup's still gonna happen or the Hampton 5, whatever it is.
Terrible
I hate that,
nickname.
man.
Steph Curry, Clay,
So
Iggy,
douchey.
Durant, and then Draymond. That's still gonna be their go-to lineup. It's just when teams are gonna try and go big against them, they're just gonna be like, okay, you can go big against us. We're just gonna put the best center in the league out.
I really want to know though how that will work. The the actual death lineup with Boogie in it, with Draymond playing the 4.
I don't think
because I feel like Durant's played
play.
so much of the 4. Oh, you don't think Draymond would be even out there? Wait,
no, I don't think Boogie's the death lineup.
Oh, well, I'm saying like if and when they put these 5 All-Stars out there, I want to see how productive it'll actually be with Durant playing more of the wing and less than of the 4,
Right.
Because...
And we also don't know when Iggy's going to really fall off a cliff.
Because he was close.
He's old, dude.
He's old.
He is old. I was young as hell watching Iggy play with the Sixers. Like, I don't have his age in front of me, but he's old.
He's really old. And
like, it could be this year when he's not part of that lineup.
All I can ask for him is to play defense and pass the ball. Because
and
he
flex
can't...
those biceps because they are still
They're
fire.
huge. He can't shoot. He can't shoot free throws.
Nope.
He has no offense anymore. It's just... I don't know. Something has to break with the Warriors. I'm trying to find cracks in this, but it's really hard.
He's 47.
Oh, okay. Yeah. 2 years older than me. Nice.
He's actually 34.
That's, yeah. Yeah, but he's not LeBron. Like, he's a real 34.
Right.
How do you guys think the Pelicans kind of recover's not even the right word, but moving forward, how do you feel about the Pelicans losing Boogie, but adding your old boy?
Julius Randle. I was really hyped about the signing at first. I was like, this is really good.
I'm still hyped. Don't ruin it.
I like it. I just don't know how the two of them like mesh next to each other.
Davis and Randle?
Yeah, because I really love the Mirotic Davis. Wow, the sun is getting to me today. The Mirotic Davis like lineup with Mirotic at the 4, and then they would play Moore, Drew, and Rondo.
Can you play all 3 at the same time?
I don't think so because Mirotic would have to play the 3. He came into the NBA as a 3, but he's
a 4.
He's a 4.
It's too big and too slow.
I think Randle will start.
Can Anthony Davis play the 3?
Anthony Davis can play whatever he wants.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just sincerely. Like,
I don't think I would put him there. I think he could guard it. I think on offense it would look weird. Like,
sure, but you'd
have 3 big guys. Well,
you can have him match up on defense against.
The problem is Julius just doesn't have a good enough jumper yet. Like he's a decent jumper. It's just he's just that bulldog.
But
he needs to get down to the post. Yeah, I mean, and Anthony Davis is a really good jumper.
I want to see those 3 players play at the same time. I want it. Damn,
I bet it will happen
with Holiday.
I think it would be really cool.
Alvin Gentry will make it happen.
I mean, I just think the Pelicans are like destined for a great season. I think they're going to tear up a lot of teams.
The Pelicans are destined to get the haul from the Celtics soon. I think
no. You really think that's going to happen?
I think so because the more and more I'm just like, okay, what did the Pelicans do? They gave up Boogie, which I really want that sign and trade to happen, but they're not really putting a lot next to Anthony Davis.
No,
they lost Rondo. And
really, am I the person that's highest on Julius Randle? Clearly, I guess.
I kind of wish they got him on a 3-year deal.
I feel like that's a good signing. Like
for $9 million, because when the season started, we were talking about Julius Randle at like
he was going to make like 17
or 20.
But now nobody is getting paid this offseason.
Nope, except for Aaron Gordon. He got paid.
He even took a discount. He didn't even get the max.
Yeah, what did he get? 21 a year for 4?
Yeah.
But then you replaced Rondo with Alfred Payton. But Alfred Payton cut his hair, so he'll be good in March.
The biggest question to me is...
Have you ever seen that, like, Alfred Payton's only good in the month of March?
No.
He gets, like, 3 or 4 triple-doubles each March.
Yeah, he did for the Suns.
It's the weirdest thing. And then after that, he just goes off a cliff.
I don't know how it works for the Pelicans because now is Drew back to the point guard? Like, because he played the 2.
No, I think he's the 2 guard.
So then it's just Alfred Payton is the starting point guard for the Pelicans?
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, they got Alfred Payton for cheap, 2.7.
I don't like it. I kind of wish they got Rondo back, but
I do too. I don't. Yeah.
The Rondo for $9 million really confuses me.
I think
honestly, all the contracts for the Lakers really confuse me.
All right, let's jump ahead to the Lakers. Nick, can't wait. Fine, whatever. Los Angeles Lakers, they're trash signings. Nick, just go ahead.
So apparently it came out today. Yeah, it was today that Magic
and crack.
Magic and LeBron talked about these signings.
Oh.
And LeBron gave him the okay for all these signings.
LeBron the GM. We've seen really terrible things from LeBron the GM.
Yeah, so that
good.
just doesn't make me happy that LeBron's okay with Lance Stevenson, Rondo, and Caldwell Pope.
The man blew his
And
own
Javal
breath
McGee.
into your ear. Why do you want to play with him? I would be so upset.
And you hated Rondo for so long.
Yeah.
There was that rivalry. Caldwell Pope got paid because he's a stupid Clutch Sports agency.
LeBron's his agent, you mean?
Yeah, LeBron's his freaking dad. And LeBron's like,
LeBron's been a GM. He's an agent. It's kind of like he's everything, but he's really bad.
he's really
At
not
outside
good
of
at it.
actually being on the court. He's
Right.
bad at everything else.
Well, his humanitarian efforts, A+.
Fair enough.
Let's,
He can beat Jordan in that. He's a better humanitarian.
Yeah.
But everything else. The weirdest thing is none of these signings compliment LeBron in any
That's
way.
what I'm going through.
No.
Who's a shooter?
I mean,
on that
JaVale
team?
was necessary in a sense. I don't hate that signing. At
They
all.
needed a center.
couldn't we have
Yeah.
gone out and got Trevor Ariza for 15 and just not gotten Caldwell Pope?
I don't get the Caldwell Pope one.
Because he's
For 12?
and we paid him 18 last year. We paid him $30 million in 2 years for him to be in jail for 2 months.
I did get excited when the
We
Lakers
signed-
were talking about Capella. They had a meeting with Capella, and we're like, oh, but then literally 20 minutes after that meeting, they signed all these guys.
Then they're like, yeah, we're getting Javal. And then they just waived Randall.
Yep, they just renounced his rights and everything.
But we could have got Randall for $9 million instead of having Rondo.
Right. No, Randall would have made sense.
Yeah.
Randall could have been really fun there.
Yeah.
The problem with this team really is going to be,
Shooting.
shooting. I think defense.
I think the defense will be.
I mean,
we got Rondo.
Yeah, but Rondo's getting old too. I mean, at some point, old guys just drop off, right?
Yeah. Well, hopefully.
I mean, how many
next year.
one-year contracts can Rondo sign? Nobody has faith in him to sign him more than 1 year.
Well, the Lakers aren't going to sign anyone to long contracts besides LeBron James.
Lance is a crackhead. McGee is just dumb half the time. Javal looked good on the Warriors at times because they were the Warriors. Anyone looks good on the Warriors. But think of any team with a good big man is going to abuse the living crap out of this team. Even the Suns with Ayton might destroy Javal's confidence completely because they actually have a
Jamal
confident big
doesn't
man.
have confidence. He shouldn't. He's not smart enough for that.
Think about this team playing the Pelicans. Anthony Davis might score 100 points. I don't know who's going to guard Anthony Davis. I don't get it.
Zubac.
Julius Randle might score 100 points. They don't have big men. They don't have wing defense. I really don't know what's going on. This is the same scenario with the Cavs all over again, except they have better young guys.
I listened to it with the Ringer NBA podcast with Kevin O'Connor, where he was saying they're kind of just taking this year off.
See, but I hate that. I hate that mindset because it's the same mindset of all these writers from LA. They're like, oh man, we're on the beach, we're chilling, we're having a great time. He doesn't care about winning. He just wants to be with us. And I'm like, that's so annoying. That's the worst mindset ever.
But,
second greatest player of all time just going to chill on the beach all season? That's so lame.
And not to beat a dead horse, but LeBron's not young. You don't know when the cliff is coming.
You can't take a year off of LeBron.
Just because I went cliff jumping yesterday, guys. Too many cliffs going on.
Yeah, Lucas and I were sweating in a kitchen, working, and you were out there getting sunburnt, cliff jumping.
Jumping off 50-foot cliffs.
50 foot where?
Pulpit.
Oh, Pulpit Rock.
Yeah. It's a cliff.
Oh,
it's sketchy as can be.
So how many wins do you think the Lakers get?
Oh, I got my math
Why
right.
the fuck are we talking about cliff jumping?
I don't know.
Because you guys said cliff.
LeBron.
He's going off this cliff. And I was like, I went off a cliff yesterday. So.
It wasn't that bad.
And it wasn't that bad. It was actually really refreshing until I'm bruised all over my legs and back.
We feel no pity. We worked on 4th of July.
Hey, I was there. Just not working.
All right, so over-under, number of wins?
They won 35 last year. They're in the West. West is really mean. I don't even know.
48.
48. So that was the second seed material last year.
No.
Yeah, no, that wasn't the second seed.
Second seed was
third seed. I mean,
60 wins.
it was It was 58 wins was the second seed, but the third seed was 49, and then all the way to the 8th seed was 47.
Yeah, so that's like...
Yeah, I think that was actually very well said.
I don't think so. I don't think they're that good. Because it's just, you just throw LeBron in there. But then the rest of the team is garbage.
I'll take the over on 48.
Over on 48?
Yeah,
you guys are nuts. Nuts. It's like they're going to win 45. Yeah, way under. I'm going way under on the...
I know, right?
It's 45. just...
That's so
how are we nuts for saying over 48 and you're saying 45?
It's 3 games.
Yeah, I mean...
Because, well, the 3 games separates them from the 3rd seed to the 11th seed. You know, like, that's a huge drop.
But the Clippers aren't going to be that good next year.
The Clippers won't be that good, but Denver will be. Minnesota.
Hopefully Denver
San Antonio,
will be,
if Kawhi's still there. New Orleans, Utah, OKC, Portland. Every single one of these teams maul the Lakers.
Minnesota's...
Can I go bold prediction? Minnesota doesn't make the playoffs.
Oh, my God.
Minnesota trades
Jimmy Butler drama.
Minnesota trades Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, they tank. They're done.
They're totally fucked. Minnesota... Yeah, I'm going to go bold prediction right now. Write it down, people. Minnesota
doesn't make the playoffs. The only way I could see the Lakers getting to that high of a mark is if they literally destroy everybody in the East in every matchup. Like they actually,
which the East is this garbage,
if they split but if they split the matchups with like Philly, Boston, Indiana, and they're able to just cruise through like Atlanta, Orlando, Chicago, Brooklyn, New York, Charlotte, Detroit,
the other
Washington, without taking a single loss.
Teams.
Without taking a single loss from all these guys.
Okay, so but you have to predict that New Orleans is going to have Anthony Davis averaging 35 points for an entire season while playing the entire season next year. Like
MVP.
Yeah, he's my MVP candidate. So, but like New Orleans is probably not going to. They'll probably be good, but they are going to.
New Orleans could get back to the 6th seed. I don't see them like missing a beat because then they added Randall.
I mean, they
played better with Mirotic, so they just increased their rotation. And unless Rondo is really like the glue piece that created everything, like
San Antonio could fall out.
Yeah, especially if Kawhi doesn't play. Like Kawhi can just be like, I'm not going to play.
I don't think he suits up, man. I really don't.
God,
he if he doesn't suit up next season, he doesn't have a free agency. He has to do a whole nother season with San Antonio.
Is that true?
Yeah, you can't do that. It's like in the CBA because in the 80s players would do that. They'd be like, we're not going to play for you. We don't want to play for you.
What if he plays?
In the 80s, they were also on cocaine like
all the time.
What if he plays and then just gets hurt miraculously?
Yeah,
and
but
like,
that'd be a huge thing. Like you'd have to get like the players' union. The Spurs would get really pissed, and it wouldn't be something like, or he like, oh, I have an ankle injury. It'd be like, no, you have to play today. Like I don't care.
He goes full Vince Carter, like he'll play, but then like say like the end of the game, he's just like, oh, like we're down by 3, and he just for some reason dribbles in and takes a 2-pointer with like no time.
Well, see, like now
he could like sabotage the team.
He could, but then now there are measures in place where like Kawhi will get like sued by the league. He'll get sued by the Spurs for not performing. Like this isn't something he can do anymore. He could do it for one season because he had like an injury, but he can't repeat this.
This is why Lucas is on the podcast. I mean, just
there are now rules in place where Kawhi can't do this for a second year.
I had no idea about that.
It's like, is the league going to actually do it though?
Popovich would absolutely do that.
Man,
R.C. Buford would absolutely. The Spurs family would.
Then trade him now. You're not going to get the full haul.
Well, now they have to.
There is no more full haul.
In that scenario,
this first full haul for Kawhi is it's like gone.
I don't think so. I don't think at all.
Unless it's the Sixers.
Bargain that. They can still bargain with the Lakers with that. I think this Paul George scenario really shocked them into the fact of like, sure, we have LeBron, but if we want a second guy and if we want him now, and we don't want to risk him getting injured next year or him going to a different team, like there are too many risks. They need to pull the trigger now, or else they're not getting a second All-Star.
I don't think they're getting a second All-Star this year.
Then they will be bad.
And then Lucas takes the under.
Of 3 games, which is a huge difference.
It's between the third and
we're crazy, but
you're also saying, so this is a team that won 35 games, and then they're adding LeBron James, and hopefully, like, Lonzo will be healthy for the year.
Hopefully
he'll be healthy because he got hurt. But
yeah, what was it with that surgery? Didn't he have surgery in the offseason so far?
I think he had a meniscus tear or something like that.
You see LeVar's already talking.
Is he? I haven't heard anything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, LeVar's already talking. He said Lonzo, 100% the starter. Rondo will be backing him up. It might be true, but it's just still like...
It's like, why are you saying that?
It wouldn't make any sense to sign Rondo to a 1 year and then be like, okay, you're going to start over our young player.
If I wanted to win this year, I would.
I wonder if it's an insurance policy, though, Rondo's 1 year. Like,
they're just
if they don't know Alonzo's going to be back day one. So they got Rondo to play
they
a similar role.
Like, they could trade Lonzo for, Damian Lillard.
That would blow my mind. See, that's a second All-Star. There you go. There you get your over. If you get Damian Lillard, your over is good.
And then Portland's out of the mix.
That far-fetched. I really don't. All right. Enough Lakers.
Yeah, I'm over it. We're going to win 55 games.
So over the Lakers.
We're the third best team in the West.
DeAndre Jordan may be the biggest overpay. 1 year, 24 mil.
Who said this? Maybe it was in the podcast I listened to. It was just like when you get like left at the altar and then the girl comes like back or something. Because the Mavs tried this before of signing him.
Right, yeah.
And he left them with like her crazy ex-boyfriend and they ran off together, hid in their house for a week, and then it's like, I want to get married to you now.
It's an extensive metaphor.
Really
yeah, I know.
Wow.
I like it. I mean, he was going to get paid 20. I think Mark Cuban was just like, hey, man, we'll give you this $24 million. And then I think after this, it's going to take like, we're going to see a lot more of these 1 year like JJ Redick contracts. And it's like, okay, next year we're going to drop you down to like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
I think they want to be good since they have their draft pick traded next year because they went out and got Doncic and his mom.
Yep. I'm just surprised that we haven't seen a lot more of these DeAndre Jordan signings.
Wouldn't you have rather, though, if you were the
anywhere.
Mavericks, and who knows if you would have taken it, but like, I would have so much rather gone 2 year, 30 mil.
Probably. I'm even surprised they didn't even go to like Capella. If they're going to pay $24 million for DeAndre Jordan, why not pay $24 million for Capella?
Right. No, he is not a $24 million player.
No.
I think it's just a 1 year thing where it's like, we just need a player.
Everybody's going to have cap space next year.
That's the thing. Why sign Capella to a 4 year, $100 million when next year you could just have all this cap space? Isn't Wes going to be off? Wes Matthews is going to be off, right?
Yep.
They're going to have a ton of cap. Dark will retire after this year.
Yes.
My thought about the cap next year,
Rick Carlisle
is if everybody has cap, I don't see how it's going to be really that different because some teams are still going to be in the same mindset. So like the Hawks and the Bulls and whoever right now that have cap space aren't still like they're still not going to spend cap space on like really good guys because they still want to tank. So you're going to have a scenario next year where like the Suns will have a lot of cap space, but they'll be able to sign one guy.
Yeah, but
and then
the Mavs are retooling while staying competitive. Like they've always been.
They're just bad. But I don't see why they couldn't get like 3 guys on 1 year, like 7s or 8s, like kind of like the Lakers did, and just fill out that roster if they're actually trying to be competitive.
Because DeAndre Jordan, they missed him. They wanted him back. Mark Cuban finally got his.
Go through the whole metaphor again. Do it. I dare you.
So it's like Mark Cuban and DeAndre were together for like a week.
Yep.
And they decided like, let's do this thing. Let's get married.
Cheers.
And then they went to the altar in Vegas, and then also in Steve Ballmer and Blake Griffin show up, which is like they're in a 3-way relationship with DeAndre, and then they steal him and they go back to their house and they have, a fun couple days together. And then DeAndre's like, whoa, what did I just do? Because now Blake's gone and Steve Ballmer's still yelling on the sidelines with his face beat red. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I'm going back to Mark.
I call him the kettle black on that one.
My entire body's red.
My dude straight up has sun poisoning. All right. Dwight Howard, 1 year, $5.3 million, Washington Wizards.
I love it.
I think it's
Dysfunction great. To the max. They should have kept Gortat. I think they should have went with full range. Let's make this thing a crazy locker room and it'll fix itself. If you screw yourself over enough, it's eventually going to correct itself.
Right? Yeah, it's like a double negative.
So Dwight's not like old Dwight at all. Everyone knows that now. And he's kind of this insane uncle that no one really wants to have. But I mean, he put up stats last year.
Oh,
he
dude,
put up stats that
like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he put up stats that like Gortat just couldn't. I mean, he averaged 17 and 13 last year with how many blocks? 2 blocks a game. Like that's a pretty good player.
How many turnovers did he have?
Oh, he probably had a ton. Oh, he had 2.5.
2.5. Didn't he have
which is a career low. So there. But I mean, now
Was he-
pick and rolls are between Dwight Howard and John Wall, and not between Gortat.
I mean, maybe they actually like each other. Well, if John Wall plays, because he's just going to get hurt again. Because
I just think this is a great signing. I really do. They needed a center. He's very.
Maybe he'll try this year.
Maybe he will, but the locker room issues will be so much fun between Beal, John Wall, Dwight, and who's the guy that just got Austin Rivers? Yeah, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun locker room.
That is a wild collection.
Everybody
of
is getting out of the locker room with bruises. Everybody's going to have a black eye.
That Scott Brooks gets traded to the Clippers for Doc Rivers.
They swap coaches.
They swap coaches, so Doc can have his son back. I'm surprised he didn't trade himself in that trade.
Yeah.
Wow. No, not happening. Because no one wants John Wall's stupid contract.
Scott, though, is favored to be fired first in the NBA. And I could see with that locker room that could easily happen.
Oh, as a longtime Thunder fan, get the hell out of my association, Scott Brooks.
Could you see it, though? Like, Wizards start 2-10. And the ownership's like, we brought in Dwight Howard. Why aren't we doing better?
Right,
and
yeah.
Scott Brooks is like, have you seen this locker room? And then he gets fired.
Have you seen Dwight Howard in the last 7 years?
Hey, he still has a Superman cape.
Probably.
It's in his closet.
So
He wears it on Sundays.
It's with one of his 18 children.
He does a lot of kids.
Really?
Yep.
I'm really unaware.
We've talked about this.
Him and Paul
before.
George
Well,
have a
it's
lot
called
of
the
kids.
sip and swish for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
So we talked about Julius Randle joining the Pelicans. We pretty much touched on Alfred Payton, too.
Yeah.
He was $2.1 mil. 1 year. Just so you know.
Just cheap.
Indiana Pacers. We're going to end it here in Indiana, the home of basketball. Tyreek Evans, 1 year, 12 mil. Psh, no big deal. Dougie McBuckets, 3 years. 22 mil. Kind of shocking.
It was very
It
shocking.
was very
I feel like none of us feel great about that.
I don't feel great, but if it was 3 years, 15, I think I would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
Because I saw the stats from when he played it. He got traded to Dallas halfway through the season, and
Did not even remember that.
he shot 50% from three
Wow.
on 5 attempts a game.
Yeah,
He killed it in Dallas, and he only averaged 11 points, but he was doing it with insane efficiency.
Sure.
And I think Doug fits this team really well. I mean, they didn't really lose a lot of people in free
Why? 'Cause it's
agency.
white, Lucas? And it's
No,
Indiana?
it has
Wow.
nothing to do with him being white.
God damn it, Lucas.
It has to do with him being one of the only 3-point shooters on this team. So
Oh,
now they have
okay.
an actual stretch guy that they can play at the 3 and the 4. All right, Smiley over there. But now they have a guy that can actually hit threes. Tyreek Evans was great because he had a career season last year, and somebody needed to snag him up. But I
It's a
think
sure good thing the Grizzlies didn't get 2 second-round draft picks for him.
Grizzlies are not a good organization.
They're on my Magic Kings radar now.
Magic, Kings, Grizzlies. Who else is a bad team?
But they're going to win
Phoenix
50.
Suns.
They're going to have
Shut
50
your
wins
mouth.
this year. Come on.
Yeah, there's no way they're winning 50 games. They needed to trade them.
Over under 40.
Under. In the West, under. If they were in the
way
East,
under,
over for sure.
Way
but-
under. It's going to be hard for people to win this year. Games are going to be really close.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
I mean, the
over.
Suns were a cellar dweller last year, and the
They're
Suns are
going
going
to
to
win
be fierce.
22 games.
No, the Suns are going to be good.
Oh,
They might not make the playoffs, but they're going to be good.
Booker missed 30 games last year. I mean, now he plays
This is year 4,
70
right?
Yeah. Yep.
I
this
saw
is year
someone
4 of
ask
Booker.
Igor if they were going to. Oh, we didn't even talk about that. We didn't even pull your Suns into this yet.
Well, I thought, there was a lot of topics in the last few weeks, if we talked on Houston, it would be that we stole Trevor Ariza from them and how much that hurts them. But,
yeah, but isn't Trevor Ariza 34?
yes, he is very old.
Isn't there
And he played
some sort of ledge that drops
And we've been talking about
that
this
older
cliff
players go
sort of
to
thing.
and some fall off of or jump if you're
It's not like
If
Trevor.
you're young and,
if you're young and
nimble.
I don't feel nimble today.
I mean, I do like the signing for the Suns because I think it's going to help
I think it's
Bridges and it's going to help
Yeah.
Jackson and all those guys. But no, it's not like Ariza is going to make us a top 5 seed. In the
How have you
West.
guys still not signed a point guard?
Because apparently ownership really likes the idea of B-Knight. And he's going to be back, and he was healthy at All-Star break, and he's just been processing, I guess. But he's going to be 26. I thought he was,
It's a long process.
It's been a very long process. But if he comes back and he's like 13-5, I'm okay with that. We just need someone that's we just need an average point guard.
Oh my god, absolutely, yeah.
We haven't had an average point guard since like Dragic, and I miss Dragic.
But you never
Trade for him.
We could trade for him, I guess.
Send him 2 second-round picks that you got from Tiger Evans.
That'd be phenomenal.
Send them back their money.
What were you saying about Igor?
Oh, yeah. Someone asked, like, so how much is Ayton going to play at the 4? And he's like, never. It's like, he's going to be the best center in this league. He'll never play the 4. And I was like, yes.
I love it when coaches are that confident, unless they're David Fizdale. Then I don't like them. But
whoa, what?
No, the Fizz train is...
It's not the station.
For both of you?
I used to
Anyone who signs with New York, I just kind of hate.
Why?
Because Dolan. It's just a spite thing.
It's just I don't like a Fizz. I don't like the Fizz. I
like
really don't like
Fizdale.
him. He crossed Marcus All. Marcus All's my guy. You don't cross Marcus All.
Yo, how upset would you guys be, though, if the Grizzlies won, like, 52 games next year?
I don't know if I'd be upset. I'd just be I would be shocked. I would be absolutely shocked.
It would just make me question if I know anything about basketball, to be honest.
Last thing. How much would you gamble on Warriors Celtics being the finals
Ooh,
next year?
good last topic. I like it. All right.
Because I was thinking about this last night when I was out. I was like, I kind of just want to gamble, like,
Warriors
Celtics finals.
Can we put the caveat in that what is wrong with me? Kawhi Leonard does not go to LA. Because if he goes to LA, then I feel differently.
If Kawhi goes to the Sixers, I feel really differently.
All right, so let's just say Kawhi doesn't go to LA. Kawhi doesn't go to the Sixers.
Kawhi stays in San Antonio.
Or goes to Jersey.
He goes to Brooklyn to play alongside D'Angelo Russell, his favorite teammate.
Brooklyn will always be Jersey to me.
I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I was just like, I haven't made good money gambling, so I get scared when I think of these ideas.
Do you know what the over-under or what the odds are?
I haven't even looked at it.
I saw the odds for who would win the finals, and it was like -170 Warriors.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was plus 650 Celtics.
Okay.
Which I like that. And then the field was like plus 2,500.
So maybe we're talking like in the range of plus 200, plus 300.
I think so.
I'd say that's realistic.
I don't think you're going to get more than like 250 right now for that matchup.
So how much would we gamble? Let's say plus 250 on Warriors Celtics finals.
I think I'd bet $100. I'm confident in that.
Like large.
Oh, really large?
I'm very confident.
I'm not like.
I'm very confident.
Part of me just feels like
LeBron James is out of the East.
He's out of the East, so like the Celtics can get there. My thought is like, can the Warriors, is like any of the basketball gods finally going to catch up to the Warriors and be like, oh my God, Durant went down. Now they only have whatever. Or Curry went down.
If someone goes down, it's Curry.
Right? So if somebody goes down.
But they had that experience.
Well, they didn't. They didn't do.
And that's when Boogie steps in.
Yeah,
That's when Boogie runs the
They're
point.
a completely different team now without Curry.
Yeah.
And if Boogie came back, oh my God, that'd be so weird.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
What if Draymond falls off a cliff?
honest answer, I'd probably put $1,000 down on that.
So the ballpark I was thinking of last night.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
really
what you're
good.
thinking,
I can't just put money on things when I'm had a few drinks.
I don't know. That just seems so high. I feel like the basketball gods, something has to catch up to the Warriors, and they can't get there. Celtics were like
I'm going to kick myself if this happens, and I didn't gamble on this.
But you know what?
I don't even think those odds are up. So
If it doesn't happen and it's on the Warriors side, I win because I'm so tired of the Warriors.
Right.
That whatever. You know what?
Warriors Cavs Part 5 next year. Let's go.
that would be.
My daughters don't need to go to
Colin-
college anyway.
Colin
Like,
Sexton.
I can gamble on these things nonchalantly.
Yeah, no.
Who needs college?
My kids
I
don't
love
need
you,
to go to
girls.
college,
If you're
so it's
listening to
fine.
this in 10 years, for some reason, why are you listening
We
to
made
this
so
in
much
10
money
years?
off this betting that you can afford college now.
Hooray!
We did it.
Nick, tell the people where to find us.
On Twitter, @SipAndSwish, Facebook, Sip and Swish NBA. We're on all your favorite podcast apps, iTunes, Spotify, all the great bits. I hope you had a great 4th of July. This is the 5th of July. I'm happy free agency's here. I haven't watched any summer league, and it makes me sad. I was working and I was like, oh, sweet, Lakers game's on. It had already ended. It was highlights. Lucas needs to text me when games are on.
I haven't seen any either.
This is why we keep him around.
Well, the Suns play tomorrow, so that's all I care about.
But he's also a weird... Lucas is a weird dude. I just want everyone to know that because he's wearing a New York Rangers t-shirt to a basketball podcast.
You know what? It's laundry
Remember
day.
we started liking hockey.
Yeah, this is going to be a hockey
I'm
podcast.
never going to like hockey. Ever.
I'm never going to like it.
I respect the people that like it, and, nothing against it. I just don't like it. And we'll end on that. See you guys next week.